Hey guys, we're back for another video. I'm here for the quote of the day. Honestly, I've been thinking about this for a minute, but it amazes me how many people love themselves more than anybody else would, but they value other people's opinions. I think you should value only two things in life. That is God and yourself, because you only know yourself better than anybody else would. There's cracks in the way people think about you. There's hurt in the way people feel about you. There's opinions that just don't really make your value for you. So I think honestly you should value your own opinion of yourself, your own drive to be what you want to be, and your own motivation more than anybody else.
Yo, what's that black stuff on the back of the wall?
I think that is racism. Keontae, what do you think that black stuff on the wall is?
It's racism put in forms of squares.
So wait, why are they like actually black? Aren't they supposed to be brown?
Black squares matter. Hey, y'all guys love me too. It's all good, man. It's all good.
So today it's the Tog Pod. And it's your boy J Rose. And your boy Cali KG.
The Cali Kage. You already know how it is. If you don't know, now you know.
And then it's your boy Kevin Wolf.
You can find him on the hub under Kevin Wolf.
Wait, what? It's just called the Hub?
Yeah, it's called the Hub.
No, it's called Hub, guys. But like yeah, but you know, it's okay, you know.
Oh, damn. There's a lot of topics, Kevin. Why'd you make me write so many?
I like structure.
Jesus. All right. So these are a couple of topics to help with making your 20s a little better. So first, Keontae, what is it like standing on your own 2 feet?
I'm barely standing on my own 2 feet, actually.
Yeah, we're sitting down.
I think one of the biggest I think one of the biggest mistakes that I've made in my 20s is turning 20. I should have stayed a teenager because it was like less stress.
Language.
My bad. I should have stayed a freaking teenager because, you know, it's like less stress, you know.
Kevin, what is it like being in your 20s, standing on your own 2 feet?
You know, guys, it's not as easy as you thought back when you were 16.
No.
I remember back then we were 16 years old. I can't wait till I'm grown up. It ain't fun. And you have to learn independence. Learn how to be by yourself.
Bro, you know there's something called a job? I didn't know about that shit.
Yeah, did you know you had to pay taxes?
The fuck are taxes?
It's this thing the government implies. So, you know, we have a nice army and police force.
You know your parents can't do it for you forever? That's one thing you also have to know.
I thought when I was 16 that I was never going to work a day in my life and I was going to be a YouTuber, and then I got humbled.
Have you had a good time standing on your own 2 feet, Keontae?
Honestly, I would say overall, yes. I do like the adult life better than I like the teenage life. I mean, you learn the value of working. Yeah, what do you call it? You go through more experiences that you would have never started. You would arguably say that your real life starts when you're an adult.
This isn't going to work.
Thank you. It wasn't just me. Let's go. WJ Rose.
What?
Oh, we're doing that now. Oh, we're describing it. Oh, I thought we were going to keep it a secret.
What do you mean we can keep it a secret?
Government, please don't come for us.
I brought in a variant.
1411.
Oh my god.
What universe is this?
621?
I didn't even know there were multiple universes. What?
Let's see.
Grab a chair. Let's talk about your own 2 feet since you're already here.
I was just walking, and next thing I know, I got dragged through a portal.
Keontae isn't very good at describing serious topics, so I had to bring in another Cali KG variant. For
Wait,
this
your name's Keontae?
My name is Keontae.
I go by Keontae too, but
Keontae, can
they
you
call me Rob.
Rob.
They call me Rob.
We know why they call him Rob.
He looks nothing like me. What is going
All right.
on? Here, since we're both Keontae, I guess you can share my mic.
I mean, dual Keontaes is kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's dual Keontaes.
You said you go by what again?
Rob.
Rob, another black name.
Who's your president?
What?
Who's your president?
We have
Rosa Parks.
All right. What's it like standing on your own 2 feet?
In your
Rob.
universe.
In my universe, standing on my own 2 feet is making sure I have one foot in front of the other, and I'm able to.
I mean, as an adult,
With bigger feet.
what is it like standing on your own 2 feet, Rob?
Well, in my universe, standing on my own 2 feet, as an adult, especially in your 20s, it's hard. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get a job, go to college. Some people go to colleges, some people don't. And then you realize you go to college and your degree don't mean anything.
Well, so wait, is this like the 24-year-old variant, or is like maybe older? I mean, he looks a bit older. He's taller too, and light skinned like me.
Did Thanos win in your universe?
Yes.
They got the same mustache.
So in my universe, I was the 50% that made it, that didn't get snapped out of existence. My kids got snapped.
Well, you have kids?
I had kids. Had
Keyword.
kids. Yes, I had kids, and they got snapped away, and that was like what 3 years ago.
Wait, so when the Avengers won,
They didn't win.
came back?
They
didn't win.
Come back.
Oh,
He just said they didn't win.
They came.
they died.
They came, killed Thanos, and just left.
How do you get into your own 2 feet, Rob?
Well, like I said, I have a job. You know what I'm saying? I take care of who I'm able to take care of, you know.
Have you had a hard time? Like, did you have a hard time growing up, stepping away from your parents?
Yeah, when I went to college. You know,
You went to college.
yeah, I went to college. It was my first time being away from my parents. I went to, living in a dorm with 100-some other guys playing football, being away from your parents, and you're doing things on your own, like laundry, eating for yourself, got to clean up after yourself. That stuff ain't easy when you're doing it for the first time.
Wait. So you didn't know how to use detergent?
You said how?
You didn't know how to use detergent?
It didn't seem like you knew how to use soap either.
eating for yourself.
If it makes you feel better, in this universe, Keontae still doesn't know how to use soap. He still doesn't know how to use the soap.
When, I'm used to my mom doing some of that stuff for me, like cooking.
And eating for you?
Not eating, but I mean eating for me. I mean like cooking. Like I knew I was going to get fed because I knew she was going to cook.
Yeah.
Like literally, if it wasn't up to me or if I didn't have no money, then I wasn't eating. It was tough when you get to college.
All right, Keontae, what is it like stepping on your own 2 feet
In this universe.
in this universe?
I remember way back when I didn't have a job. It was pretty bad. I was only getting $150 a month from my dad by an allowance. Had a girlfriend at the time. Super cool. But what wasn't cool is that I didn't have a job, and so I wasn't able to do anything. Now, this is before I was 20. However, the lesson learned really brought me into my 20s too. I was told I should get a job because she didn't want somebody to be a deadbeat, which is pretty much fair enough. I wanted to do things for
Were
her.
you a deadbeat?
Yes, I was a deadbeat. I had graduated, and I only was kind of sitting there collecting allowance from my dad every single month, which is only $150 that I was somehow making stretch. Either way, I was told by my girlfriend at the time that I should get a job, and you know what? I did. So I got the job, and then I learned what it was like to work for myself and work for things that I wanted in life, and to grind and to actually be able to give her things that was actually more expensive than what $150 can afford. And from there, it was like motivation. I was like, dang, this is how working feels. This is good. I'd never imagined that I work at all. I'd be thinking that I'm just chilling here. I was a little bit spoiled. But once I figured out when I got on my own, how great it was actually, shoot, I couldn't stop. And I put my nose to the grind and boom.
Well, for me, I'd say it was a long time of just being to yourself, honestly. There wasn't a lot of money involved, so you couldn't really go anywhere like that. You couldn't do anything you wanted to do. All you had to do was chores and hope that it gave you enough money to get the video games you wanted or go to school and all this other stuff. and then you had to get a job. I had to get up and get a job. I worked at AutoZone for a minute. It was pretty hard because I didn't know anything about cars like that. But then I learned a lot of skills in cars and Spanish. Kevin helped me with Spanish, and yeah, it was kind of weird. Honestly, working with your friends is kind of fun, but at the same time, it can get kind of annoying at times because there's times where you have to be stern with your own friends because you can't always be having fun and games. It's hard to make business with
Pleasure.
or venture. So, and also, when we wanted to go on vacation, it was kind of hard because all of us wanted to go on vacation since we're all friends. Keontae was in California at the time, so we weren't really together, but we went to him at the time, and they made it hard for us. What about you, Kevin? What is it like working in your 20s?
I just want to say,
on Independence.
Editing Cali KG, put the vlog video here. Put the vlog video here. You know which vlog video I'm talking about.
Yeah, a little thumb.
But the one thing I will say about when it comes to working in your 20s is when you were 16 or 12, you saw the PlayStation come out, you saw the Xbox, then you saw the new Nintendo console, and you're like, dang, when I have a job, I'm going to buy all of them. And then once you become independent and an adult, you buy all of them, and they collect dust. You don't touch them because you're tired. You don't feel like playing them.
Do you touch your old console?
No, they just sit there looking nice on my TV stand. They look nice sitting there.
Honestly, that's kind of crazy. Mine sit up at top of my in my closet. Honestly, they just collect dust too. I had the Xbox One. My PlayStation it's still sitting there because I have the original PS5. It's better.
Yeah, I don't really have time to play video games myself. I mean, I literally have bought my PlayStation 5 strictly to watch YouTube. And that's if I even do that. I'll go home and just go to sleep.
Wait, you don't play games with
who?
Kevin?
The last time we played games together was the freaking 2021.
I mean, we could play Minecraft.
Oh, we could, but shoot.
Why?
Because, the Minecraft movie. We could play Minecraft.
Why?
For the skins.
Why?
Because do you guys have Minecraft in your universe?
Yes, we do. But our Minecraft is full of a bunch of circles instead of squares. It's very crazy.
Honestly, that sounds like a better game.
Yeah, it low-key does.
When I was, I think the best part about being younger, under 20, under 18, is, the fact that you had no responsibilities but to play the game. And all you had to do was go to school, and that's it. And then you realize when you get older, you can't enjoy the things you want to because you have all these extra responsibilities.
How did you grow into yourself, though? Like, how do you feel like what really brought you to be like how you are today?
Breakup and failure.
Breakup and failure?
That's real.
I think I went through a really bad breakup in college, and it really made me the man I was today. And going through life experiences made me, because you have to go through failure to get to success.
Okay.
And I feel like when you experience things in life, it molds you into the character to make you a better version of yourself. And I had to go through a lot of failure, a lot of experiences, and a lot of troubleshooting to get to the person I am today.
Wait, is life like a computer in your universe? Troubleshooting?
We're all a simulation.
30
in my
seconds.
universe.
Ooh. How I grew into myself, I feel as though I really had to do a lot of research, a lot of YouTube, a lot of books, a lot of I'd say a lot of reading articles and all this other stuff.
10.
It took me a long time to really just grow into what I wanted to be today. And I'd say it was a very hard process because
And time.
Da.
The next topic is going to be about the 9-to-5 guys, the realities of 9-to-5.
how was it working a 9 to 5 for you?
Guys, I know in the beginning it's cool, like you get your nice $300 check. But once you realize how much money is in the world, you realize 9-to-5s aren't really that big of a deal. They're really not.
300 is insane.
You know what's wild? There are people on a list to buy Bugattis. So when you become a fresh millionaire, you can't even buy one because they're already all bought. So just think about how much money in the world. Think about it. What was his name? Tim Cook. Tim Cook has more money than you. He can mess up on the iPhone 37 times, and guess what? You're still going to buy it. Marvel can mess up on the movie 37 times. You're still going to watch it.
I don't know about that. They're going down right now. Yeah. But
I don't even watch it.
Yeah.
So there's more money in the world than you think about. But people get complacent with these 9 to 5s because they think $300 to $800 is the big deal, till they step out and realize how much money there really is in the world.
Oh, for me, working a 9 to 5, ooh, every day. Sometimes it feels kind of grim because you wake up, you go to work, you go to sleep, you come back home. You know, like the guy from Stranger Things said, wake up, sleep, eat, reproduce, and die. I mean, it's kind of crazy how like grim it gets sometimes, especially when you feel like not a lot is going on. You need a vacation sometimes. You don't, and people, look at you weird when you ask for a break, or like when you want to work hard and people ask you where you been at all this time. It's a little weird sometimes doing that, especially like Rob said over here, earlier. He said you get a breakup or something, or like you get your heart hurt or something by like somebody passing away or anything, and it kind of ruins your grind, the reason why you get up every day. And it's kind of hard sometimes to get up for work, especially at 2:30 in the morning sometimes. But Keontae, what about you?
You see, you can really get trapped into the 9 to 5 cycle, and you don't even realize how much time has passed. Like I was 18 when I first started, and suddenly I'm 20, and suddenly now I'm 24, and it's like you really get complacent with 9 to 5s, especially if you have like dreams and whatnot. I mean, you start focusing so much on I gotta work in reality that sometimes people forget to pursue their dreams. It happened to me at 19. I was doing YouTube, sure. I started working full time at my 9 to 5. 4 years done passed. What happened to my dream? I don't know. So I think that once you become self-aware when you're in the 9 to 5, you can start actually grinding for, what do you call it? What do you want to do? Like Kevin said, you see how much money is out there. I mean, I'm looking at YouTube all the time when I'm off of my job, and I see they're making this much money. But you know what they're doing? They're doing things that they love. We can all admit that we don't love the 9 to 5s. We like our jobs, but we don't love it.
I also like the people too, to be honest. A lot of the people I do like, some people I don't, and a lot of things happen in 9 to 5 that like it gets chaotic, like high school at times.
I will say though, I'll be honest with you, guys, trade in your 9 to 5 for 24 hours. Instead of working 8 hours, come work 24 hours.
On your own time.
Yeah. Nobody's going to tell you that, though.
What about you?
Just to piggyback off what my Keontae counterpart here said, I think 9 to 5 is a scam. I really do.
Stand
I
on
believe it is a scam because, let's be honest, you work 5 days a week for only 2 days off. I really think that it should be like 3. You should work like 3-4 days, or you should at least balance out the days off with the days you work and still make the same amount of money, because it's at a 9 to 5, you will talk to somebody who's been there for 20 years, and what do they always tell the younger people? Get out while you can. Don't be like me. It's really a rat race, and if you don't have that grind mindset to want to start your own business or do better for yourself, you will get content, stay with a 9 to 5, making mediocre money where you can be a millionaire, have your own big mansion, big house, big cars, anything you want. But if you choose to stay inside that little box and stay content with how your life is, you'll be that next guy in 20, 25 years telling the next generation, get out while you can. Don't be like me. And don't stay.
So how's it like trying to go up? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like you have a 9 to 5, you can get the manager position, you got the supervisor position, or you got the general manager, you know what I'm saying? Like any job, because you get stuck in that 9 to 5 cycle, but sometimes they make it hard to even like come up and go up levels.
I think that if you're trying to get promoted into a 9 to 5, that's cool. But there was always a quote that I've heard. If you're not pursuing your dreams, then doing your 9 to 5, you're just helping the person pursue theirs, if that makes sense.
Keep it real.
So you're continuing to do your 9 to 5. Cool, you're making your money. But what you're really doing is helping the dude make the money on top, which isn't bad. But if you want to be the dude on top, you're going to have to start doing your own stuff. And it's going to be hard work, but as we always said in those previous videos, delayed gratification.
I mean, when I was working one time, Kevin had left, all my other friends had left, and I was working very hard. I came back from vacation, and they were complaining about me, like, oh, you know, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, you didn't do this, you know. And then the second I come back and I see a new person there, he gets the assistant store manager position for some reason. Even though I've been working very hard at the time, I was doing all the work. They were complaining about me before, and now they're over here. I'm like, okay, I'm leaving. Why? Because I'm over here training this guy to be the assistant store manager when I've been working here for 2 years. It makes no sense, right? But they'll do stuff like that to you, make you train them, make you do the work for them, and even still, they don't respect you at all. Like, and then the second you're about to leave, I say, I'm putting in my 2-week notice. Now, all of a sudden, Justin, I'll give you anything. I'll do anything for you, Rose. What? Can you please stay? Come on. You know what they said to me? You know what they said to me when I first started to become manager?
Actually, no,
Justin!
I got to break it down. So basically, they were trying to offer me the position, and I said, "What about my boy Jay Rose?" And then they kind of was like, "As my boy Jay Rose, Keontae, play the replay right here."
Justin.
But yeah, that's exactly what they said to my face, and I was like, "That's wild. This man's still here, and I ain't." But one thing I will acknowledge about the 9 to 5 thing is being an entrepreneur isn't for everybody, but at least if you have a 9 to 5, learn a skill, because you know you can take my job away, but you can't take what's right here. You can't take it away. If I learn mechanics, electrician, aviation, you can fire me, but guess what? I have all the knowledge right here. So if you want to do the 9 to 5, that is cool. Learn a skill. A skill is different. A career is different than a job. They won't tell you that, though. They're not going to tell you that.
One thing I want to say, shout out to the 9 to 5 workers. Listen, 9 to 5 is a scam, but 9 to 5 people are essential because we need 9 to 5 workers. But if you can get out of the 9 to 5
I'm glad they
grind,
flip my burgers.
Yeah.
if you can get out that 9 to 5 grind, get out the 9 to 5 grind. But 9 to 5 grind people are essential for the community and ecosystem of.
Yeah, I'm glad my trash is taken out every morning.
I sure am.
And I'm glad that I got someone to clean my car when I needed to be clean.
Yeah.
Somebody got to do the work.
Somebody got to do the work, but not me.
Yeah, I mean, to put you guys in this perspective, we all have 9 to 5s, and then we spend the rest of the day doing this. I mean,
Editing this.
Yeah, or putting money into this, or putting black stuff on the wall that I still don't know how it got there.
It's venom.
Let me change the statement.
Everybody was it. Huh?
Don't stay at a 9 to 5 job. Now, find a 9 to 5 career. If you don't want to be an entrepreneur, of course.
TSA is a career.
Find a 9 to 5 career, and I wasn't talking about a specific job.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about a specific
I was just,
job.
I don't know why I said that, but it is a career.
I'm starting to like the other variant better.
I think the other variant is
better on
taller.
me.
He's light skinned. He like makes the little yellow gleam off him and all that and stuff.
I would say this about 9 to 5.
What lotion do you use, man?
In our world,
it's like gleaming off your head.
I don't use Jergens,
Let that man speak.
I use the sweat to make my skin glisten. My sweat from my 9 to 5. But best believe, in a couple of years, we will not be working a 9 to 5. And we'll look back on this, talking about this, and you will be wondering how to get out of 9 to 5. But at the end of the day, you have to get up and start that grind now so you can get out that 9 to 5. Or you can just get up, put on a uniform, go to work, and do that again for 20, 25 years until you hurt your back or your knee. Telling the younger generation, don't be like me.
When you hurt yourself, you know what your job's going to say? That's crazy.
And remember, guys, you don't have to be great to start. You just have to start to be great.
Who told you that dumb comment?
Hey, yo, chill out.
W Glaze.
Who told you that? Hey guys, I'm gonna tell you the truth right now. Since we only got 30 seconds, if you decide to be a YouTuber or a vlogger or a podcaster, your first video is gonna be bad.
Your second video is gonna be bad.
It's gonna be terrible.
Gonna be bad.
All of them are gonna be terrible. Our videos are gonna be bad.
We're 10 videos in, technically.
Yes, and guess what? They're still not great. They're getting there. That's why we have black stuff on the wall.
Don't be a rapper.
I ain't say nothing.
I mean,
Don't be a SoundCloud rapper.
Hey,
Don't
man,
be a SoundCloud.
I have a song on SoundCloud.
Really?
How many views you got?
Who's heard it?
I could put that as the freaking soundtrack. I whole ass do have a song on SoundCloud, but I'm not gonna do that. Fuck that.
You got 6 seconds.
Oh, hey guys, make sure you follow my SoundCloud. I'm not gonna tell you. I ain't gonna tell you guys that.
And time's up.
All right, guys, we're back.
Well, we never left.
We never left.
I just needed to drink some water.
It was just kind of a split second.
That's kind of crazy.
Anyway, back to the next topic. It's gonna be how to not be a procrastinator.
How to overcome procrastination.
I am not the person to ask for this.
Yeah, you're definitely not.
What about the better variant?
Yeah, what about better Keontae?
See, I'm the more determined Keontae.
That makes sense.
Tell about the size.
A lot more sense.
That's how he came to this universe because he was more determined.
Yeah. So
Took me a lot to pull him in here.
it did.
Took a
I
lot.
was just walking. Next thing I know, I saw a portal hand grab me, just pulled me through. But procrastination, right? I'm the biggest procrastinator in my world. And in my universe, it's more so people love it. But here it's frowned upon. Learn that quick. So how I overcome procrastination, you have to, you got to have determination. Like, you have to be determined. Motivation is cool, but sometimes you don't have the motivation to get up. You don't have the motivation to go to the gym or have the motivation to do what you want to do. You have to be determined and disciplined. Discipline beats procrastination any day, not motivation.
Yeah.
The motivation will get you started, but discipline is going to keep you going. And when you're disciplined and you doing what you're supposed to do, going to the gym, working out, eating right, and following your goals, then you'll be able to beat procrastination and get out the bed and do what you want to do.
All right. One way I overcome procrastination, I would say, is habits. Like I said, discipline and motivation are good, but it's the what and the why. But how is habits. So that means, like I've always said, you have to create habits and understand how to form those in order to do better when it comes to procrastination. Like when you get up in the morning for work and you're tired and you're bored and you don't feel like doing it because you don't feel like being a 9 to 5 the rest of your life like most people. You have to set yourself up for success. So that means when you get up, make sure your clothes are already ready. Make it easy for yourself to get up. Make sure all your skincare and your soap, as Keontae doesn't do.
The hell is that?
And deodorant, like Keontae doesn't do.
The hell?
Do you not know what any of this stuff is?
Must be from a different universe or something.
I mean, that's deodorant. That's deodorant and soap, Keontae. And then you also have to make sure that you brush your teeth and all the other stuff, good stuff. But you have to make all that stuff easy for yourself to do, because if you make it hard, like your clothes aren't ready and all that stuff, and you have to do it last second, I know it's kind of tedious to do at night, and when you're tired and stuff, and you just got home from work or the gym or eating out with your friends or whatever, you have to make that stuff easy for yourself. Everything you do, it's how you overcome procrastination. I'm sure Kevin has a different view on this. What about you?
Guys, the way I see the overcome procrastination, it's really simple. It's up to you really whether you want to move or not, but this is how I overcome it. Personally, you just do a litmus test. By that, when you go into the mirror, take off your shirt. See if you like that guy you look back at you. If you don't, boom, that should be an automatic right there. You know what you do? You open up your bank account and look at those numbers. If they're not where you want them to be, that should be there. That should be a reason for you not to be procrastinating. You see that car outside that you still haven't cleaned the rims. It has pollen. It's all dusty. The windshield's cracked. Or you have one headlight that's cleaner than the other. That right there should give you a reason not to be a procrastinator. My bad. I'm sorry. But in those stances, I'm like, that's how I see it, because I look at the physical things of it and the aspects. Kind of like my boy the Cali Kage and Cali Kage 1411. How they don't procrastinate.
All right, Keontae, what's your way to overcome procrastination?
I mean, if I'm being honest, like I said, I'm the worst person to say to this. I still procrastinate to this day. But I will say, for people in their 20s and whatnot, really good advice. If you're going to not procrastinate, make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. And I mean, for example, you got a girlfriend, you got a boyfriend or whatever, a significant other. Do stuff for yourself. don't do stuff for them, because in reality, I don't want to wish it on anybody, but it's not gonna last forever. I'm not gonna say it's not
Tell
gonna
him
last
again.
forever.
Let's go. He's
Okay,
telling them the truth. Let's go.
Okay, I'm not shitting on anybody's relationships or anything like that. Like they very much could, but I'm saying just in case they don't, in the slim chance it doesn't, make sure you're doing things for the right reason. So get in shape for yourself, because after it ends and you're sitting there like, I have no one to be in shape for. I mean, no, you still do. Remember, look after yourself. Don't procrastinate. Don't quit on yourself because you don't have anybody else. And the number one person you should be looking out for is yourself. Or just remember that. Because once everybody is gone, who are you going to die next to? Yourself. Who are you going to be next to? Yourself. Who are you going to have? Yourself. You ain't even going to have your money. You're going to have yourself.
So do you say you work better with people or without?
Me personally, I work better without people, but still, I mean,
I mean, like in every situation, like
not every
family, friends,
not every
significant
situation.
other,
I mean, if it wasn't
coworkers?
for you guys, I probably wouldn't be doing this right now. So in some cases, you do need people to bring you up. At the same time, you don't procrastinate. Like, I mean, we procrastinate.
I mean,
sometimes,
like,
so,
I mean, like 1411. Like, did you get over that procrastination?
Yeah. Well, kind of. It's hard. It's a struggle. It's like it's like an everyday thing.
Before your universe got destroyed?
Even after, you know what I'm saying? Because you got to think about it. We lost 50% of the population, so it's more work for us. So the procrastination's at an all-time high.
Shouldn't you go fight that guy again?
I'm here now, so I
I
might
mean,
as
yeah.
well.
I don't. I mean, I really don't care. I'm J Rose. I mean,
You know what I'm saying? I feel like this universe is a lot better.
it is.
Yeah.
I'll get rid of all the other people, all the other variants of Keontae.
Wait, what?
Yeah, what?
What?
Wait. Why am I thumbs up?
What is your vendetta against us?
I tricked them.
I don't get it.
What like? What's one way you do that in day-to-day tasks though? Like, how do you get rid of procrastination in day-to-day
Nah,
tasks?
beat your
Like,
dick on a Saturday
yeah, like-
morning.
So,
like, what does your day-to-day life look like?
so I'll say this, right? So when I get off of work, one of the things you want to do, what's the first thing you want to do when you get off of work? You
Sleep.
want to sleep. You're tired. Your body's tired. You're ready to go home and procrastinate and do what you do. Get in that bed. Because when you get home, you get in your room, the bed starts talking to you like the Green Goblin mask. You ready?
That movie exists in your universe?
Yes, it
Does
talks to you.
does the hub start talking to you like
it does too.
The hub starts talking to you.
Everything
Let's
starts talking
go.
to you. One of the biggest things I do when I come after work, in the morning, I bring my clothes with me for the gym. So I have no choice but to go to the gym right after work. So as soon as I leave work, my body's telling me, go home, go to bed, get in the bed, take a shower, whatever. I say, no. I go straight to the gym, and I'm already there. I change, and I go work out. I do an hour to 45 minutes of workout. I do another 30 minutes of cardio, and then I go home. I don't give myself time to procrastinate at all, because I go to the gym, and by the time I say I don't want to do it, I already did it.
How many days a week you go?
I try to go 5, Monday through Friday. I just started doing this a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
It's hard, but once you get in the swing of things and you start doing it, it gets easier.
I've been doing this for 4 months. Honestly, I think back at that time, me, him, and Keontae were traveling, and I got on the boat, and I was just like, man. Like, I started standing on there. I was like, man, I looked pretty big in that video. He used to have his channel, and I had to get toned up. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So it's a lot better when you're working hard every day. I go about 4 times a week. What about you?
I actually lost like 25 pounds in like 2 months. It's actually when you go and you're being consistent and you eat right. Eat right.
I'm at 35 right now.
I lost 40 pounds.
It's easier said than done, but when you eat right, I promise you the weight will shed off. If you just go to the gym and just don't procrastinate, I promise you that weight will shed off.
Wait, so Kevin, how many times you go a week?
What do? I do 2.
Okay.
On the weekends, though. 30 seconds.
I used to look like a Greek god when I was 19. I'm gonna put that picture up right there.
Then he got into a relationship.
Well, no, I was in a relationship when I started looking like a Greek god. Then I got into a relationship.
That's what I just said.
And then, you know.
How'd that go?
Oh, I mean,
It was amazing, wasn't
bro,
it?
let's stop doing this in every video where I get put on the spot.
The next thing guys should learn in their 20s that's really important to learn is mastering communication with people, with their family, loved ones, and best friends, and then, you know, other universe variants.
So, how did you guys get better at talking to people? Are you introverts?
I got a job.
extroverts?
I got a job where it required me to talk to people.
A lot of people don't have those. They like going in. They like going in the back and working on pallets all day, and you know, doing construction and not really talking to people much, or like not doing customer service. So like, is there a thing you used to do before that? Before you got a job?
Absolutely not. I was quiet and I didn't want to speak or say anything.
Kevin? I mean, Keontae?
I always say that I am an introvert that has been turned into an extrovert or has to be an extrovert. In reality, I like being alone. I do. I'm a loner at heart. However, you know, my job experience, I mean, I've been doing security for like 6 years, and whether it was what do you call it? You know, Allied or TSA, it's like, what do you call it? I mean, I have to talk to people. I have to, you know, either command present. I have to do customer service. So communication has definitely been, you know, something in my life. Also, when I went to college, I did drop out of college. I mean, it wasn't for me, but I'm sidetracked.
I got a degree.
Yeah, he got a degree. Good for you.
I know, right? Let's fucking go.
Let's go.
I do too. I have a degree.
We're never going to use it, but yeah.
Good for alternate Keontae as well. You got a degree as well.
We're never going to use it.
Either way, when I was in college, though, I took an intro to communications class, and it also helps me with my with public speaking and communication and stuff like that. So I'm always for it. And yeah,
I will say though, putting yourself in public setting like that, in the beginning it's nice, but slowly over time, controversial take, but it's true. You get tired that people are pretty stupid.
Yeah.
Or hold on, hear me out, my bad. You know what? If you're not smart about something and you ask me politely, that's chill. But there's people who are like really stupid and have an attitude about it. I will say that.
So honestly, for me, I think a lot of times I was quiet because I feel like I didn't know what people were talking about. That's why I started researching at an early age, because a lot of times when people are talking, you don't have an idea when they're talking about the new songs, the new things going on, or even knowledgeable stuff that they're really passionate about, and you don't understand what they're talking about. It's hard to speak because you feel as though you're talking in an area you don't understand. So for me, I felt like when I started learning stuff to talk about or learning things about people or even topics that are relevant, I started to talk more and be more in the conversations and understand the spheres that I were putting myself in. Sort of like when people talk about, I don't know, anime or like even musics, like, you know, when they talk about rap music, rappers or anything like that, I didn't really understand a lot of the stuff that people were talking about because I didn't listen to music a lot during my time growing up. Yeah, I heard the radio, but I didn't know anybody's names. I still don't know a lot of names for a lot of people, honestly. For me, actually getting the words out to communicate, it started happening around the time where I started working too, because customer service kind of gets you out of your shell. You have to speak to people, and people are very rude. And honestly, it's kind of hard to hold yourself in a lot of times. I think talking to people when they're being rude is also a skill you need to learn, because if you play into it, it can honestly get worse. I think you being quiet, sort of like the Boondocks taught you, like when you're being quiet and they look crazier and crazier as they start speaking to you and yelling at you and being disrespectful. That's something that you learn during a 9 to 5. That's something that you learn down in life. That's something that you learn when you're in areas where people are very rude and disrespectful and don't really understand the dynamics of being a business person or a person who has like that code switch. A lot of people don't have that, especially like scammers and drugs and all that stuff. So
yeah, we don't say those words on YouTube. So
I'd say learning communication, understanding a lot of topics is a better thing to do.
I think that when you're in your 20s, you definitely, I mean, you should really have learned this like as a kid, but at the very least, since people really discover themselves in their 20s, you better start learning before that cortex develops. What do you call it?
That's the frontal lobe.
The frontal lobe. My bad. Lobe. I'm a little stupid. Anyways,
The prefrontal cortex is actually back here.
Either
But
way,
go ahead.
Either way, communication, like, not even about talking to people like that. It's about also how you talk to people. Like he was saying, you know, your tone and whatnot, being respectful. What do you call it? You're gonna learn that, you know, the way you talk to people really matters as well. And if you don't watch your tone, you know, you can really get yourself into some type of trouble. It's like the way you talk to people is the way people are going to perceive you. And if you're not meaning to talk to somebody the way, you know, that it sounds, I mean.
You should tell them about that ice cream story. You remember the lady?
Shoot.
That's why we started listening to the Boondocks.
You just wanted an ice cream?
No. So me and Justin, I think it was me. All three of us were there. Right?
Oh,
yeah. The three of us.
You're right.
So basically, we were at the ice cream place, Brewster's. I love Brewster's. It's my favorite.
Shout out to Brewster's.
But
Start eating there.
yeah, me too.
Started
actually.
working out.
But basically, there was this lady in front of us doing DoorDash or Uber Eats and was picking up the Brewster's ice cream. And I was looking at the signs and said, what was I saying? I wasn't talking about her.
You were surprised that Brewster's does DoorDash.
Yeah, because you thought as though it would melt before you get to.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think I'd ever do like DoorDash with Brewster's because what do you call it? Like it'd probably melt before I get there. But the woman thought I was talking to her. Or talking about her.
I mean, technically he was.
I was talking about her, but I wasn't like making her the topic of it.
Yeah,
I was talking about anybody.
She felt as though it was an insult to her like, you know, job or whatnot.
I was talking about anybody who did Uber Eats. I mean, shoot, I was an Uber Eats driver, so I mean, I can't.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't too mad at him for doing it,
yeah. So it was like shoot. But she turned around and she was like, "What do you call it? Well." What do you call it? What are you saying? You talking about me? You talking about me? Da, 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 da. She started just going so crazy and just yelling at all of us.
I told him to be quiet.
And they told me to be quiet and just let her scream because it would make her look like, yo, what the heck are you doing? Because it was innocent. I wasn't even talking about it.
Yeah, he kept apologizing.
And I was like, look, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I wasn't talking about you. Da, 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 da. But, I mean, the more you like say that stuff, the more fuel it was just adding to her. Yeah,
he was adding fuel to the fire. I told him to be quiet because, like, eventually she will start realizing it's awkwardly quiet, and she'll start calming down because she's realizing she only looks crazy.
But on the bright side, though, we did get free ice cream.
We did get free ice cream. We did it in front of us.
We did get free ice cream.
I will say, though, that day I learned really one thing. If you're a man and you're just standing there, you're automatically a racist, a misogynist, a colorist, and all the other words she called us.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't say a word.
Yeah, we were
Justin
black.
didn't say we just looked. And she called us all that, and we just looked at her.
We were black, and she still called.
Yeah, and I'm just there. I'm like, so
it's crazy. Like Prince said last time.
So after that day, I learned all I had to do was just stand there, and I'm all that apparently.
Well, what do you think, Broski?
So, for me, communication, I definitely learned a lot of my communication through, once again, experience relationships. I'm from Jersey. I know this count is from California, but I'm from Jersey. So in New Jersey, we don't really have much of a filter. So you talk however you want. And I used to not really have a filter, and I didn't really care how people thought, because I thought, I didn't see it as disrespectful, but the person I may say it to see it as disrespectful. So I had to learn that I can't just say what I want because, people will be offended by it. Even if I don't think it's offensive, I think people will still be offended by it. So even when I was in relationships, I had to learn to I have to watch what I say to certain people.
Do you think even bringing up certain topics can get you in that space? Not saying you have to name any specific ones, but I'm saying do you think even just playing into those certain topics can get you that way?
Yeah. So even if let's say me, I like dark humor.
Uh-huh.
So nothing is off limits to me.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I get that.
I could joke about anything, but if I joke about something that's very controversial,
mm-hmm.
And then someone will be like, "Oh, why would you say that?" Oh, because I thought it was funny. But I thought it was funny, but they thought it was offensive. But you have to learn to You can't always.
I think jokes are always in somewhat putting somebody else
20 seconds
down, like in a sense, because you always would have to bring yourself up. I think joking about your own situations can kind of make it easier for that type of thing.
And for the last little bit of the communication thing, I also have to say it is very important that if you have
5
your own
seconds.
opinion, make sure you stand up for yourself and say whatever you need to
My
say.
opinion is
Hey,
you should
over-
like and subscribe.
over-
Yeah.
Time's over.
Shoot, man. That's what I wanted to say, but I lost myself when I was talking. So
Oh, I wanted to say something about, you never know who's going to walk through that door, so learn how to speak properly. All right, guys. We decided to give ourselves an extra 10 minutes on this topic, communication. What I wanted to say really quickly is, guys, learn how to communicate. There's a moment you're talking with the homies, but you never know who's going to walk through that door. For all I know, there might be a YouTuber here with 27 million subscribers going to walk through that door with a certain straw hat on. And because, I never learned communication, I'm not going to get that feature. So learn, because you never know who's going to walk through the door, guys. So learn how to communicate so you can open opportunities for yourself.
So I also think like a lot of times you need to build your social battery up too, because a lot of places don't allow you to do that. I'm sort of an ambivert in that situation. So
What is that?
I don't want to be an ambivert. Is essentially like the middle between an introvert and an extrovert. That means like you don't like being out too much because it can make you lose your social battery, and you don't like being in too much because it can make you lose your social
different
battery.
from an omnivert.
So it is different from an ambivert. It's like half and half. So I would say for me, like going out can sort of, especially wasting time, small talk, all that other type of stuff can make me lose my social battery. But also being inside also makes me think, I need to go out. I'm kind of bored after being in there too long and procrastinating, sort of like we were talking about earlier. I think when it comes to communication with friends, I think that can build up your social battery, because a lot of times I'm not ready to speak yet, and your friends are kind of looser with that type of thing. Instead of like, for instance, girls or working or family, sometimes your friends are good because your family is not up all the time, and your friends are ready to do things like you because they're in your same age group most of the time. I think that building your social battery up is easier when you're speaking on the phone or texting or being online. Those type of things can build up your social battery. A lot of things like Instagram and all those stuff, because you're not ready to speak yet with your mouth a lot of times too.
You mean Minecraft?
So Keontae, what do you think when it comes to like friends and stuff like that? Did that help you build up your social battery, or are you like alone there? I think I am in a sense too. But.
My social battery is easily drained when I'm not at work. At work, I'm putting on a little front. I mean, it's not completely fake, but I'm not going to be always happy-go-lucky all the time. But, like, I mean, I'm freaking talking to thousands of people every single day. I mean, thousands of people every single day. When I get home, I don't want to talk to anybody. Shoot, I hardly don't even talk to my friends. But, no disrespect or anything. But, like, my social battery is just, like, me personally gets depleted, like, super easily. So, like, even today, I'm probably at 8 o'clock going to be, like, dumb tired and not want to do anything. And it's just, like, it just be like that. I don't know. I'd say overstimulation when it comes to communication and being around people is definitely a real thing. So, yeah, I mean, if you're in your 20s and, you don't want your social battery to die and you're the type of person who gets overstimulated pretty easily, just it's okay to give yourself a little break from, communicating, Another topic about communication, though, if we're going to move on to this one, I'd say it's important, especially in your 20s. You better learn this skill now because you don't want to be a freaking cuck in your 30s.
You don't want to be in the basement like that one barber.
Yeesh. Shout out, you know who
Shout
you
out
are.
to the
You
barber.
know who
Yes,
you are.
sir. Yes, sir.
No,
Yes,
that's
sir.
super
Yes,
crazy.
sir.
You gave me my haircut. Okay. No, that's so fucked up, man. But freaking, if you have your own opinions about stuff, don't be afraid to voice your own opinions, because if you don't voice them, then they'll never be spoken. I had to learn that myself. Sometimes I would keep things in that I don't like, but like over time, you got to realize if you don't say stuff, then nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to start until you take action. So taking action, say something. Closed mouths don't get fed. That is a very real thing. You have an opinion, do not worry about not speaking on it. Speak on your stuff, because if you don't, no one will. I mean, maybe they will if they catch that you are, but it hits a little differently coming from you. And I wouldn't say everything now. Like if you have some pretty stupid things to say, like, well, I'm not gonna say it obviously, but
I respect you, Jay Rose. I respect you. I would never say that.
I mean, my thing is too. Sometimes it's not about speaking to people necessarily in situations, because sometimes speaking to people doesn't really help. They don't really fill that void that you need in a sense. Sometimes it may be the gym, and sometimes it may be going to the mall. Sometimes it may be going out to parks or mountains, or being to yourself, communicating with yourself in a sense. Like a lot of dudes don't really communicate with emotions and stuff like that, so it's easier to communicate physically and go do something, go out and do something, work on yourself, work on your craft, work on your situations, work on your environment, make sure your room looks nice, making sure you have a nice car or things like that, because it makes it easier for you to feel like your super self, as they say, or and they give you a self that persona that you can come out with, because like he was talking about at work, sometimes that isn't necessarily a front. It is you, but it's the you that's energized at the beginning of the day. It's not the you that is pulled back, that shadow self, the stuff that you like to hide, the stuff that you keep encroached in, and for situations where you don't feel the greatest, like where your social battery is taken up all the way and you kind of just giving out something. I think you should build up that self too, because sometimes that super self is not there, because in the morning or late at night, you might not be feeling like talking, you know what I'm saying? So I think you should build up that self too. You should give yourself time to be to yourself mostly. What about you, Rob?
I think the biggest thing about communication is, like, I'm a loner too, right?
Mm-hmm.
I always have friends, but I don't mind being by myself.
Okay.
And I think the biggest thing for communication is you need that human interaction, though. Like, at some point in time, you do need that human interaction, even though you are a loner. Because let's say on the day off, I can stay in the house all day, and I wouldn't really care about it. But a part of me is like, I don't really want the interaction.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind being in my house all day, just doing what I do.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, dang, I could have did something today. There's that part of me that's like, I could have went out and went to the gym, or I could have just went out and enjoyed the sunshine.
Do you always have the tools to do that though? Like, do you feel like sometimes it's like, so for instance, right? Let's say the power is out, right? You're editing or whatever. You like to do edits online, TikTok and stuff like that. Do you believe like sometimes you don't have the tools necessarily to get up and do that, and that you could get the tools, but it feels like a sort of weight on you to do that?
No, not really. I feel like when it comes to like
making it easier for yourself, like you don't have a water bottle to go to the gym, that might hold you back from, because you don't want to buy $3 waters every time you walk in, or for instance, like you're doing cap cuts or something, or like TikToks, and you feel as though paying $10, $20 a month for that type of thing, not necessarily saying you have to pay for cap cuts, because I believe it's free, but I'm saying like those type of things can make it harder for you to sort of get your word out there, or feel like you need to get that craft together.
See, when it comes to like using CapCut on my phone, so they do got the Pro feature where you use Pro, and when I first started doing edits, I'd never used Pro, so I used to just do everything, just whatever edits they gave me, whatever I could use, I use, and then I realized, I was like, I tried out the Pro features, you know what I'm saying? I was just like, these edits are so much better. It will make my craft so much better. So I bought it. Yeah. And I was just like, you can't really go back.
Shoot, you should see how much it is to buy like the Adobe apps, man. I got like the big pack, the creative pack, the creative cloud pack, and so you can pay like that you could pay $90 and no contract type of thing, and then you could pay like that yearly pack. I forgot how much it is. I believe it's like $60 for that creative pack, the for like the yearly plan. You know how you pay like a bunch in the beginning, or you sign a contract where you have to pay, and if you cancel you have to pay more, or you have to pay like that difference. So I feel as though I understand that type of thing where you're creating those.
And I'm gonna say something, it's off topic, but kind of like off topic, but YouTube Premium, I got it like 3 years ago.
I need it.
Never went back.
I forgot they have ads.
Never went back.
I forgot they have ads.
When I go to somebody else's house or I watch something on somebody else, I literally forget that YouTube have ads because I watch hour-long videos. I'll be watching so many people's videos, and it'll be like 30, 40 minutes, and I go to somebody else's house, they'll watch like a 5-minute video, and then the next thing I know, I see like a 30. I'm like, wait, YouTube got ads?
Yeah, like even so, for instance, right, we have the YouTube channel, right? And we don't have premium on that. So when I switch to it and switch back, it's weird to click a video and see ads. I'll be
It's
like,
literally night and day.
It's like night and day, man. I can't unsee it. Like it's
5
like
seconds.
It's like a crazy situation to just deal with.
Time.
Some of the I'm gonna say it anyway. Some of those ads on YouTube be like 99 minutes long, man. They be getting you like crazy, man. Like why would
Remember
they do
Hulu?
That?
Remember Hulu with those?
Oh no.
And that's another thing. Why am I paying for Hulu and still getting ads?
Exactly.
Yeah,
All
you
right.
got the whole ad free one though.
All right, let's get to the next topic.
Dun.
All right, guys. The final thing you should learn in your 20s, or pretty early on, is valuing
Valuing
knowledge.
Valuing knowledge and continuous growth.
I'm winging it, man.
Valuing knowledge and continuous growth. Understanding your potential. That's why I even have this necklace right now. I think because it's an Ouroboros necklace. It kind of means infinite potential or like growing yourself. I think when it comes to valuing knowledge, researching, understanding your craft, valuing those situations where you can build yourself up, I think you should always build both parts of yourself, because I know there's always that good side you show, like I said earlier, good side you show and that dark side you don't show. And I think both of those sides are good. Like the dark self, you kind of want to build up, but you don't want to use it because a lot of times you're angry, you're mad, you're pissed off. Those can happen from people you know, situations you've been in, environments you put yourself in. I think that valuing your knowledge is a very good thing. I think you should work on your craft. Like in situations like YouTube, you need to understand the analytics, what people are watching, how people are watching it, how many people are watching these sort of topics. Like you gotta understand your audience, your target audiences in this situation. Understand where you can grow. Understand who you can communicate with. Understanding who can give you things for better value. Because if you hang around or put yourself in situations where they're not really seeing you, you're wasting a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of growth that you could potentially have. What do you think, Keontae?
I mean, I think that this could even go outside of the whole professional scene too.
Yeah.
I think that I think in your 20s, as you're developing as a person, you should also be open to criticism. Mm-hmm. Because you might not. Nobody's perfect. Nobody.
Yeah.
Jay Rose is perfect.
I mean, besides Jay Rose, nobody else is perfect. So, if someone comes at you with a legitimate, reasonable criticism, I think you should actually be able to hear them out and actually be able to understand and take some self-reflection about yourself, and maybe this could be worked on. You don't have to change yourself necessarily, but you can like improve. Like some change is definitely good, and that's also something you should learn in the 20s. You shouldn't stay the same, because if you do stay the same, then you're not evolving. You're not getting any higher than what you actually are. So
I was gonna say one thing. At least the way I think it should be filtered. I think you should take opinions from people who have something you want or some characteristics. So, like, for example, Jay Rose can speak really well. Would I would value his opinion over somebody else who, can't speak well. Or let's say, for example, like the car, they don't have the house, they don't speak, they don't have the shape you want. I'm probably not going to value your opinion 9 times out of 10. Or you don't have a family.
Do you understand like the idea that maybe sometimes it's better to say you don't know something? Because I feel like, because it's even statistically speaking, people who say I don't know a lot more are a lot smarter. I typically say I don't know something when I don't know, and I don't play myself like I do know something if I don't know it. Now, when I really know something, I'll speak on it, but otherwise I'll just, I'll say I don't know.
Or ask ChatGPT.
Yeah, ask ChatGPT.
Or ask ChatGPT. It is a very good skill. We'll talk about that later.
More human and human.
But I think sometimes you don't know the questions to ask yourself. Like sometimes, like my dad even said it to me before. He was like, sometimes you don't know what you don't know. So if you don't have the knowledge, like if you don't even know basic math skills, how are you gonna start talking about arithmetic? You know what I'm saying? It's like levels to the knowledge that you can possibly learn. And sometimes you don't want to learn a lot of like surface level knowledge about things. And a lot of things connect. A lot of knowledge connects. Like, if you learn one skill in one thing, you might know another skill in another thing. You know what I'm saying? It can make things easier. Like if you're able to build a table, you might be able to use those skills to build a whole house sometimes. But you want to look at skills from the top down, knowledge from the top down. Sometimes it's better to look from the top to look from the bottom. Sometimes it's better to get rid of all of it and start from scratch, and sometimes it's better to communicate with other people. Now that doesn't mean everybody, because I can't take the same knowledge about cars from him as I can from him, because he might be a master mechanic, which I believe he is. He looks like a master mechanic to me.
That is racist.
That might
Extremely
be extremely racist, but. And he might not know as much about cars, because I wouldn't talk to him about cars, but Keontae's better at content creation than a lot of other people I know. So I talked to him about content creation or photography over Kevin, because Kevin's never done that. He doesn't do the same things that Keontae does. But that also muddies the waters, because a lot of people talk about things they don't really know. Like, why would I talk to somebody about being rich who's never been rich in their life,
Or trying to.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I respect the potential to go up. Like, I respect somebody who's on their grind. Somebody might just be in the middle of that crux, that becoming stage, where they're not really technically there, but you can see the drive in their eyes. Like him, his whole universe died. You see him here?
He's still breathing.
What do you think about that potential?
I think the biggest thing about potential is like what I said was, following other people's footsteps who has been successful in the places and where you want to be at. Like for me, I want to be a bodybuilder one day. I want to really get big. I want to really, get into that profession and stuff like that. Who do I follow? Follow other successful bodybuilders. Follow what they did. Watch videos and stuff like that. If you want to, you have to, because there's a difference between taking criticism and constructive criticism.
Yeah.
Because there's people that will criticize you because they're hating, and there's people that will criticize you.
Man, we got some comments like that.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah. And you got people that's going to criticize you, constructive criticism to actually help you get better.
Yeah.
So, like, for football, I learned a lot of constructive criticism from football.
Yeah.
Because my coach, he was saying, like, oh, Rob, why don't you do this, that, and the third? Stop acting like a blah, 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 blah. But he's giving constructive criticism. Like,
he's telling you how to actually run.
How to actually do this play or do a move or something like that. And some people can perceive it as, oh, he's crapping on you. But in actuality, he's giving me the tools I need to succeed.
Do you think crapping on people sometimes is because sometimes it's not as easy as just being nice to people. Sometimes, like, you can't just be like, hey, Rob, just run a little faster.
See, you got to be stern. You got to give him a stern hand.
As a baby, obviously, but, not as an adult.
Yeah. So, like, you got to give him a stern hand, because if you don't give him a stern hand and you're just very, like, gentle with them, how can they really learn when you're not? You got to put that battery in their back, because you're not. But the only person who's going to realize your potential is you. Yeah. Nobody else can bring that out of you.
Nobody loves you like yourself. You cannot. Nobody knows the cracks in your logic or your body or your visuals and all that other stuff and things you look at and the people you hang around than yourself. If you waste a lot of time learning things from people who don't really understand, like your coach, for instance, right? Or I know I come off as nice sometimes, but a lot of times I do get in a situation where, like sand, you try and control something and the sand falls out of your hand. You know what I'm saying? The more you try and control situations, other things are feeling out of control, and you try and control things even more, and they all just start falling out of whack. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So, like, for instance, you get in a breakup or something, and this is here. You have the podcast room or, whatever situation you're in. You get in a breakup, and so that feels out of hand. They may have cheated, they may have ghosted or stopped talking to you or whatever, and you feel as though you have to control things more, you know. And sometimes it's better to listen to things and understand that you can't control every situation you're in. The only thing you can control is yourself and your own mind.
And I'm gonna say one last thing. A great quote, something that that they say is the graveyard is full of the greatest potential to ever live, because a lot of people die with their potential, their dreams, and their goals, and it all goes to the graveyard because they never actually try to achieve them, or they never got to that part in their life to where they wanted to achieve them, and they just chose to be lazy and complacent.
That's deep.
That's
That one
deep.
hit. That one really hit.
That's deep.
That's a clip right there.
I do want to say though one thing. I think. Well, I don't think. I know this one. I'm gonna stand on this one.
Stand on it.
I was gonna stand on this.
W, Kevin.
Guys, always be willing to learn more, because you cut yourself the second you say, you know what, I'm done. I'm not gonna learn things anymore. Like for example, this black stuff on the wall. We had to learn how to put that on there. The black stuff on the wall. We had to learn that. I didn't know how to do that. He doesn't know how to do that.
This mic
Cal-
setup,
I had to learn how to do this. I had
just
to
come out.
learn.
I had to learn how to edit.
And you
from
know
the
what?
ground
I
up.
still suck. I know I can get better. I'm terrible at it still. But you know what? At least I can do this now. I didn't know how to do that.
And it seems like those little small steps too, like just plugging in wires and stuff like that. A lot of older people don't know how to do this type of stuff. A lot of younger people don't know how to do this type of stuff. A lot of people can't even get up to work every day
Or change a tire.
or change a tire. Some people can't change the tires. Other people don't know how to turn on their phone. Other people don't even know how to like put water in a cup properly. But
What really separates people from others, because I'd say at base level everybody is equal. What separates everybody from others, or people from
DI.
other people? What separates everybody from others and different people is the
I'll
fact.
make him interrupt.
You know what? Fuck this, bro. I ain't saying shit anymore. You know
all
what?
right, no. Go ahead. No, for real.
Damn.
Go ahead.
All right. What separates others from other people and stuff like that is the fact that they are actually willing to step out of their comfort zone to learn something new. So we could have very easily said, okay, you know what? We're just going to film in one of our rooms and just use the iPhone, simple stuff. But instead, we actually went out and tried to learn about different black stuff on the wall, or the little, I still don't know the name of that
P4.
thing. P4. There you go. And
Audio interface.
and our wires and whatnot.
The lighting was kind of hard to learn and what to get, because a lot of the stuff you don't even know where to start.
And we're still experimenting. We only 3 episodes into this, so I mean, like, it's gonna get even better. But I also wanted to say one thing for people in their 20s. A really good way to keep your peace is, again, I forgot which one of you guys said it, but literally focus on things that you can control. Things that you can't control, I'm just saying, like, okay, it's gonna happen, but find solace, find peace in the fact that it's out of your control. If you're overstressing about that, then you're going to be stressing more about things that you can't control as well. Like, just imagine how much easier it is to be like, well, all right, that's in God's hands, or I can't control that. And versus, well, maybe I can focus all my energy that I'm focusing on the things I can't control into the things that I can control. And you're making that so much better. Because things you can't control, either way, you can't control it. So why even worry about it, right?
So I honestly think there's a solace in, like, because I was listening to a lot of things. I'd be listening to a lot of philosophy stuff right now, but I think there's a lot of good stuff about understanding things, like things are just sometimes fine being imperfected, like YouTube, for instance, editing, for instance, doing this podcast, for instance, right? A lot of things are perfectly imperfected. Like, I'm sure a lot of the stuff that you guys like are improv, done ways that aren't like scripted or brought about by people spending hours and hours and hours on things. Sometimes you mess up and make something even better than you started with. Yeah. I mean, some edits and stuff like that, you click something and you're like, wow, I like that better than I started with. You know what I'm saying? There's even a whole thing about you know, for instance, being in situations where things aren't even perfect, like taking pictures, for instance, right? You hold something, you pick something up, and somebody takes a picture of you, and it looks better. Or like when you're walking, notice how photographers take pictures when you're walking and not when you're standing still and looking awkward, and you're like your face is down and all that other stuff. There's a beauty in that type of thing, right? A lot of art isn't perfect. Somebody just slaps some paint on the wall and it looks better than some portraits that people make that are full on done. There's a whole craft to things being imperfected or not really done with all the power that you could possibly do.
Just to add on to that, so like let's say so when I do like a TikTok edit, right? Like I said, I've been doing TikTok edits for like 2 years now.
Okay.
Or like even like just editing videos. Like at first, I have an idea in my head, and I'm like, okay, this is what I want to do. I like it, and then as I start making a video, I'm like, wait, what I can do this? What if I add this, and that? I view the video as if I'm like, what if I just came across it on TikTok? Like, what if I just came across this video? Would I watch it?
Yeah.
So
I think that too about our videos too. Sometimes, like, you know, would I sit down and watch this randomly if I seen it on YouTube?
Like if I was a random person, like if I came across a video on TikTok, am I going to stop to watch it or I'm just keep scrolling?
Yeah.
So I see a video and I'm like, wow, I see the potential of this video, and I start to work on it more and more and more until I finally perfect it to the way I really want it. And that's the thing about perfecting your craft with anything you want. When you start doing it, like you go to the gym, at first you don't really see the results, but you see a little bit, little by little.
Do you understand sometimes that like some people just don't understand the depth of something, even if it's great? Like you may, so like for instance, like, you know, we watch a lot of anime, all of us, right? So for instance, like Dragon Ball. I mean, he obviously watched Dragon Ball, but I'm saying like for instance, Dragon Ball, right? There's a lot of plot holes. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of deep philosophy about the stuff that they're watching, like from the West and all that, and from the East. But like some people don't understand like the depth of those situations, even though they're great. Like for instance, like let's say TV shows and stuff like that, a lot of people don't understand where they get those quotes from. Or like rappers, they copy a lot of other quotes from other people. Or philosophy, people don't understand that people got these things from reading books. You know, a lot of people don't understand the depth of these situations, and a lot of times, like for instance, last time we talked about the podcast, we talked about things like TikTok brain. For instance, like people don't watch and really understand and take the time to really watch a lot of things. People are watching podcasts now, but a lot of people don't watch those long form contents. They watch clips on TikTok like you're making, right? And you know, even a minute long, even 40 seconds long can be longer than people are willing to sit down and listen to what you're saying. For instance, do you think like sometimes you're making something longer than it needs to be? You know what I'm saying?
So for TikTok, right? So like I would love to make a video over a minute. I would love to make a minute 30 video, 2 minutes. You love your craft, right? I love doing edits. I love doing it. And you know, sometimes I'm like, gosh, I wish this could be longer. But I know how people on TikTok is because of the brain rot.
Yeah.
You know, just put a brain rot above my head when I say that. It's really bad.
Yeah.
It's really gotten to a point in society where
2.3 seconds attention span. By
exactly.
The way,
like if you look at a watch time for your videos, it'll probably be like the first 5 to 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And it's like if you don't capture the audience within that first 5 to 10 seconds,
it'll dip.
They'll go on to the next thing.
They'll dip.
And it's like I try to max out at like a minute or 45 seconds because I'm like, if I go anything over a minute, they see like 2-3 minutes. I'm like, I'm not about to watch this.
Yeah.
You're not on TikTok to watch a 3-minute video. You're not on TikTok to watch a 2-minute video.
And it's a lot of times it's even oversaturated. Like I've been on YouTube. I swear to God, and you'll see like 4 or 5 videos that you would love to watch, but it's like there's so much content sometimes that it's overflowing your mind. Like you. That's why I turn my phone to gray. I still have my phone gray to before I go to work until I work out, because a lot of times I will sit there and I will procrastinate And I'm not saying I do now, but I used to. Like it would really get to me, like procrastinating, because it's so much stuff to watch, so much stuff to do, so many games to play, so much anime to watch, so much video games to play, so many things outside to do, that you get distracted by just how much content. Because like, for instance, with TikTok, with YouTube, with Instagram, things will just, there's so much stuff that other things will go under the water that you don't even understand. For instance, like when I was talking about how I was younger, you often miss a lot of stuff just with the newer stuff that you have to watch. Like, I'm sure a lot of people don't even know a lot of the older movies, a lot of the older stuff that's probably a lot better than the stuff they have now that you haven't even got to watch. Like, I wouldn't probably got into Dragon Ball. Like, imagine Dragon Ball came out today, right? And you could, and it was in the newer animation and stuff. It'd probably be a lot different than how it is now, because they wouldn't have the same depth, because they're adapting themselves to that TikTok brain, where they don't allow things to be as deep and as fundamental as it used to be. Like they have a lot of motivational clips that are taken out of context for people, or taking a lot of people's content that doesn't allow you to watch the full form video of things, and it can sort of muddy the waters for people, because you don't get to really understand where they got those concepts from. Like for instance, Mr. Beast talks about how he has longer form videos that he goes on for podcasts, or like longer form things that he's putting himself in, that people don't even get to watch, because they see those little 40 seconds, and you don't even get to see a lot of the ways he got up in YouTube. Or like becoming a fighter, becoming a musician. You don't get to see a lot of those little things that got them up, because you don't watch the full video. You don't watch the full segment. You don't even get yourself on those apps to do those things, and you see a lot of notifications, like 50 different notifications on your iPhone. They don't even allow you to like swipe off all the apps that you have nowadays, to be honest. Like, it's little stuff like that kind of overstimulates your brain, because a lot of the colors and stuff get to you. I wonder if, like, in the future they'll get better at that.
This right here,
Yeah,
will kill your dreams.
absolutely.
This right here will
it can
kill
make your dreams though, too.
your potential. It can make your dreams, but it's how you use it. If you're on your phone past 2:00 scrolling on TikTok, scrolling on Instagram, if you can't sit down and watch a 20-minute YouTube video or a 20-minute video talking about, that's not about action or flashing lights or anything, someone's just talking or being informational, you got brain rot. And
yeah, I'm listening to philosophy right now. I'm reading books right now. This is stuff that has been long forgotten. Like, 25% of people can't even read at a 12th grade level. That is crazy.
That's depressing.
That is crazy. This is why we are 38 in education in the U.S., because of things like that. People cannot read because they don't understand the value of long form education and understanding all the little increments of thought that people have, and it's kind of wild to think about.
April 8th. It's April 8th, guys.
It is April 8th. Man,
Sorry.
we can put that in the video though, because they do have a little section where you can like put the time that you did it, or like the date that you put it up.
That was a kindergarten reading level.
Yeah, it's crazy, because like I was talking to my family the other day, and my grandmother, she was saying like people can't even read. Most people read at a 5th to 6th grade level. That is insane. Like, you don't even put yourself out there to really understand things. You just watch a lot of people that don't really add value to your knowledge,
10 seconds.
them iPad kids.
The AI will be the last tool right there. It'll be the last. It is even
And
studied.
time.
I think AI is kind of contributing to the rot. It's making things so much
Yeah, but I'm
easier.
saying that AI is humanity's last tool, whether good or bad, right?
It's gonna be it'll probably eventually like be bad, because you gotta think about it. Like, all the bad things you're doing with AI now.
Because AI doesn't care about your feelings, right? It doesn't care about like the
Yeah, and then you gotta think about it. It's not the AI, the person behind, the people
Yeah.
behind the AI.
It is a tool to do what you ask it to do. You give it a question, it gives you a response. You give it a task, it gives you a response. You give it your business, it gives you a better business. Maybe it gives you a worse one because there's a thing called AI hallucination.
Those AI videos are getting more real by the time goes on.
Yeah.
And when you get to those, you'll get to the point to where you're not going to be able to tell real from fake.
Yeah, it's like that now.
And like
I promise you, there's situations where you can make a full-on clone of yourself and put it online to just make a video of you.
Like if I like, I'm pretty sure get to a time like I can kill you, I can shoot you, got it on camera, I can just say it's AI.
I think there'll become a time where, because you know how they say AI will kill humanity and all that stuff. I think
Ultron.
I think although that is a case, that is also half of the story. I think like as good as it can be is as bad as it can be. All things that can happen will happen. Humanity will die. We'll probably get the best things of their existence. I don't know.
In essence, everybody, when you're in your 20s, sometimes it's okay to take the slow route. In the wise words of Lil Dicky himself, in his
Little
song,
Weddy?
Lil Dicky,
Famous rapper.
put respect on his name, Lil Dicky.
I respect it. I listen to the music sometimes. It's interesting.
So I would just say who?
Either way,
No, I say Lahu because beep. But go ahead.
you don't have to be resigned to the highways. You can make a path while these motherfuckers drive straight.
Dang.
Take the back roads.
Take the back roads. Go to the back rooms.
Just like the tortoise in the hare, slow and steady wins the race. Don't have a TikTok brain. Next segment.
That was pretty much it.
That was pretty much it.
All right, well,
I mean,
Beep.
y'all done.
Final thoughts, alternate Keontae?
I think
Final
some
thought?
people, it's my bad.
Keep interrupting him.
Some people in their 20s, all I'm going to say is if you really want to survive through your 20s and actually make it to your 30s, I think that you should like and subscribe.
Yes,
That's what
sir.
I'm talking about.
Yes, sir.
And make sure you leave a comment in the description. Fuck! Make sure you leave a comment in the comment sections, and I will never ever stop saying this.
He keeps having a band in his head because he keeps saying description over and over again. It is insane. Do not hack our description, please. All right, let's like and subscribe. Comment, hit that notification bell for another better video than the last.
Hey, this one felt more like a podcast. Yay. But I would also like to thank our special guest, alternate Keontae, also known as Robert.
Like and subscribe, or I'll show up in your closet.
I think I brought one of the bad variants.
He will show up in my closet.
I don't care enough to destroy him, so I want to leave him where he is.
Or you will be snapped, just like my kids were.
Dang.
Oh my God.
Were you the Thanos?
He
No,
was.
I think I brought the wrong variant.
He was Thanos.
I think I brought the wrong variant.
No wonder they didn't come back.
Find a way back to my universe, some shit like that.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, we're recording. So what you gonna do now?
I'm gonna try and find my way back to my universe. See if I can
I only got to
get my kids
that
back.
kind of like took a lot out of me, to be honest.
Yeah.
That was a good episode. But shoot.
Honestly, honestly, thinking about ChatGPT, like, I wish I had a body, man. I feel like that would be kind of interesting.
What do you think its body will look like? I bet it'd be like some type of like.
I bet it's cold.
I bet it's like a baddie though. Like it depends. Like the voice, the girl voice. Damn.
This snap. Well, yeah.
That'll never happen.
Yep. Hey, where's my phone at?
Oh shit, that scared the fuck out of me.
What?
This fucking story.
Wait, fuck. Wait. What's going on? Keontae, look.
What the heck?
What the heck is going on? Why is it going in on me? Oh no. It says get an open area. Oh,
Hold up. Stop it real quick.
let's do it.
Hey.
We need more people in this podcast anyway.
Yeah.
Or-
I want to see its body.
Yeah, I want to see it. That seems cool. These dumb niggas don't even know what they getting themselves into.